Hi, Kelly Dodson and Sue Milliken here from Far Reaches Botanical
and Senna.
Conservancy.
Don't forget Senna.
Can't forget Senna. No, she never lets us forget a thing. Um, anyway, we're here to talk about and celebrate our installation of our new crevice garden. This was done just last week by Kenton Seth, Paul Spriggs, Chris Dixon, and Ty Danilchuk from Colorado, and the other three from Victoria. Truly, some of the world's experts on crevice garden installations, so lucky to have them. And one could ask, well, why are you building a crevice garden? And the answer is, first of all, is because we love it. And secondly,
Good answer.
it's a great answer, and it's true too, which always is helpful. 3 years ago, we had Paul and Kenton come out and install our first crevice garden, and it was just magic watching these guys work. And what this crevice garden has allowed us to do is to successfully grow some of our very highest alpine Olympic endemic plants successfully down here in the lowlands. And these plants are ones that require such specific rock crack environments that with the slightest twitch in climate change, they're done for in the wild.
Yeah, and we just noticed what a great environment it was for them, and we've had great success. And Lomatium columbianum's been doing great there, and Paeonia brownii, which is often hard to grow. And just today we noticed our Viola fletii coming back after planting little seedlings of it, and that's an endemic to the Olympic Mountains.
And an incredibly difficult plant to grow, and literally just on the way up to the library to film the video, you went and looked and it's like, hey, there it is. So second year and this plant came through the horrible heat dome that we all experienced last summer, and the fact that it can weather our rainy winters, not being frozen all winter like it would be, and then experience that heat that it never sees. These crevice gardens were plant magic, and with this we can grow and propagate these very, very threatened plants, collect seed, distribute them, share them around, because crevice gardens are the thing now. And botanic gardens all over, public gardens all over the world, private individuals are putting in crevice gardens, and it's just the greatest fun you can have in a pretty small footprint. You can pack so many plants into these specific niche environments that it's just amazing. And these guys are just pure artistry at work.
It's amazing to watch them work, really. I mean, they set the rocks with a compass, and they just have a way of looking at the rocks and envisioning how to put them in a most artistic way that I was just stunned by how wonderful it was.
And we're grateful to good advice from our friend Al, who said, get an off-road forklift. Best advice we've had literally in the last several years. It made all the difference.
Yes, because the rocks we used this time for our second installment, which is probably 4 times as big as the first one, the rocks were much bigger too, so it's really got some real impact.
We would have probably done this earlier, except for COVID and the fact that we had a really difficult time sourcing matching rock to the earlier garden, which is just this beautiful surface weathered Montana sandstone with lichens growing on it, and it's just so gorgeous, and it just looks like it has been settled there forever. And just seeing, and with this new garden, they just hooked right into the old garden, right into it.
You can't tell where the new one
Seamless.
begins and the old one ends.
Same beautiful attention to detail, and the multiple repeating face angles. It's like, how do they do that? We watched them start this, and it's like, it just didn't even make sense what they were doing, but then as they went along, it made such perfect sense, and there's just no way we could have done it,
No, definitely not.
And
but the forklift also enabled us to use these really large rocks.
Which is when we'd ordered these specifically, figuring that, that's not our problem, it's their problem to muscle them into place, but they're younger than we are, so.
Well, then they were really grateful, and it also allowed them to pretty much finish it in a timely fashion. So.
Yeah, it was amazing. We didn't think there was any chance they were going to get through almost 40 tons of rock in the 3.5 days, really, essentially, that they had. So, it was pretty magical. And just speaking from a pure sort of business standpoint, because this is a conservancy project, your money was so well spent because these guys just busted it. I mean, they had all four of them had never worked together before. Three of them had, and of course Paul and Ketten are very familiar with each other, but here are four guys fully competent in their craft with an intuitive understanding of stone. They speak stone, and they just got up and looked at it, said, "What are you thinking?" And Sue said, "I want to see a path here, almost like a grotto, a canyon through the main body of the garden." And they went, "Okay." And then from that design aspect, it just all became clear to them what they had to do, and they just started at it, and they worked so incredibly hard.
So now the path it kind of winds its way through, and you can't see the path all in one spot. You have to sort of, it's a voyage of discovery.
Yeah, every little corner is going to be a hidden gem. And one of the beauties that we saw was that these guys just had fun. I mean, they loved the project.
They collaborated really well. They all got along perfectly, and they helped each other, and they paired up in different pairings every day and working with different people, and it was really
no egos. They just understood it, and they just I think they just felt grateful to be working with very cool rock and having such a free hand and doing something that was, a meaningful and important project that's going to benefit, not only critically important plants, but it's also going to serve as an incredibly inspirational educational tool to further crevice gardens in North America. And our fondest hope is that you all can come and see it. I mean, we just go out there in the morning, in the evening, several times during the day, and just stare at it. And there's not a single plant in it yet, and there won't be for a while. We have a lot of time of packing material down into the cracks to a firm base, and we still have to find, I think we're going to actually go to Montana and handpick narrow little pieces of sandstone just to have consistency throughout, so to chink those vertical faces. So
well, we're definitely going to need to grow a lot more alpines to
that's true.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else there is to say. Thank you for making this possible.
Absolutely.
It's just a wonderful thing, and we really do look forward to having you come visit.